Hey guys, welcome to my channel as I sit down and eat my dinner. I made a lot of videos about the splenic flexure syndrome, and I really hope other people open up and document their experiences. How else are how else is society going to find out? The world, the medical system. At the end of this video, this is an important video I've never done about this. The splenic flexure syndrome is dynamic. There's a lot of different things about it, and at the end of this, just letting you know that I have a website that's dedicated to a disease that I have in my spine called adhesive arachnoiditis, and I thought, hey, I have a website. Excuse me, that was the splenic flexure syndrome. That burp, and other causes too. But since I have a platform, why not just use that? Because there's blogs on there. So why not give a platform to the splenic flexure syndrome? So what I did was I wrote about a 10-page article, and I did my best to give my experiences of almost a decade of this disease. So it's been about 9.5 years. So I'm going to show you something here that's going to help you, and if I were you, I'd watch all my videos about the splenic flexure syndrome before you get an idea of what I'm talking about. And maybe you follow me because of the splenic flexure syndrome. I'm going to go on a whiteboard. I think I'm going to use it, but I want to show you something first. Well, I'm going to tell you first why I'm making the video. And, when it comes to embarrassing things, right? Going to the bathroom, just talk about the truth. Just talk about these things. How does a person ever expect to get anywhere if they're not willing to talk about the hardest stuff? You can't get anywhere that way. And so I'm not embarrassed to tell these things online. There is great difficulty going to the bathroom with the splenic flexure syndrome. And this is a certain, would you call it a technique? It's very challenging to do. Actually, it's very easy, but learning it can be challenging, and you may go through many years like I did. I didn't have information. I didn't have any of this. How to go to the bathroom in the morning. And don't worry if you don't go to the bathroom in the morning. Number 2, okay? Don't worry about it. Your food and your body, if you're eating enough. If you're not eating enough, you're not going to go to the bathroom properly. If you're not eating fibrous foods, if you're not eating fruits, if you're not eating proteins, and I know the list is quite limited, and I tell you, you have to have, like I use Buscopan for every single meal. It's the best treatment that there is for the splenic flexure syndrome. There is not another medication like it. It's not addictive, and it's not that expensive at all. You'd be lucky Canadian to get it for 30 or maximum 40 cents per pill, but times can change, right? So the reason I'm making this, I want to tell you a specific technique to go to the bathroom in the morning. I fight a lot of kidney stones. I would say at least half of my life consists of having a kidney stone, but I only truly experience the feelings of it, like the psychological aspect that it does to a person, and the pain, about maybe 3% of my life. Why? Because I eat a lot of oranges, and it really helped. And it's all due to my gallbladder, but it's also due to the food I have to eat. You can only eat about 15% of the foods in this world, right? Because of the splenic flexure syndrome alone. Or sorry, that'd be my life. The splenic flexure syndrome, there's not many foods you can eat. And so one of the reasons I get a lot of stones is because of the food I eat, although it's very healthy, like fish and I eat corn. This corn it doesn't do anything bad to me, but it may to you. Although it's healthy, these things, you have to find something to eat. You're going to have to find something. Why? Because you're going to have to get calories, but number two, because you're going to need something to help propel you go to the bathroom. So let's talk about this. So obviously you can see, and if you don't know where the splenic flexure syndrome is, it's right here. Okay? It's right here. The top left, the flexure. This is called the ascending colon, right? And then it goes into your transverse colon, and it usually does a dip like that. And then, people who don't have this syndrome, it may be like not so high of a turn, like it goes straight up, right? In us, but there's always it always does go up, but normal people don't have it as sharp and high, right? Like look at this here, and everything just gets jammed up there and stuck in there. So I'm gonna say something before I get to the technique I'm talking about, because it does matter. If you want any chance of going to the bathroom properly, you're going to have to eat fruit and fiber. Keep the sugar as low as you can or whatever. I eat grapes and blueberries. And grapes, blueberries, and obviously oranges don't cause kidney stones. They don't cause me much trouble. Listen, splenic flexure syndrome, all food is tough to eat. Get used to things, right? Okay, so considering that you're doing that, and so you're eating food, to move it through, this is number 2, to move it through, these are my other videos, so let's say you eat a meal, okay? Say your stomach is like right here. Say your stomach's like right here, right? So let's count say you eat 3 meals a day. You eat more meals with this. It's frequent small meals. So you eat, your food drops into your stomach, then all of a sudden everything around in the transverse colon gets agitated, it starts moving. There are muscles on the bottom of the transverse colon that move it along like little fingers, okay? Pushes everything along, and it gets trapped up here. So I eat slowly, my meals really slowly. I drink water, and that's when I take my pain medication, because I have other pain disorders. Take my Boscapan, take my opiates, do whatever I have to do. I sit and I let my meds kick in for an hour, and I eat really slowly. That's what I do. And make sure I drink enough water. I'm not kidding you. People say don't drink with while you eat. You can choose to, but I believe with the splenic flexure syndrome, drinking while doing it, keeping constantly hydrated, probably helps it push along. You may get sick, but this is my choice, right? So it doesn't, the flexure can beat up there anytime. It can be worse sometimes when you're not eating than when you're eating, but it's more frequent than you're eating. So say you're eating a meal, right? Food drops in your stomach, everything starts moving, because that's what it does. It's all, when it gets stimulated, your stomach, things move. So recognize that. So things start moving, it starts beating up, right? It's like there's a clock, it's like a pseudo blockage for a certain amount of time. That's just the way this works. So what do I do after I'm done my meal? I get my shoes on and I'm out the door twice a day, and I walk about 2 miles each time. Why? Because I'm trying to push this through. Now, you can do other exercises, but why would you forego walking? Walking is the most simple human task. maybe not in this society, the only society in history, but I never had a car growing up, and man, I always walked, okay? Walked, mountain bike, like extreme mountain biking. I was always doing that stuff. I think walking, though, helps push it along better because your legs back and forth like that. Not staying on the spot, but you can still... I've worked this out to a science, okay? My doctors know this. I've worked my life out to a science to make sure things are right, so that's what I do. And obviously there's more to this, but I'm trying to push it along, guys. Push it along. So considering that you're doing these things, you're exercising, you're trying to push it through, you're eating the right foods, you're going to say, well, I still can't go to the bathroom in the morning. Like, I'm having a lot of difficulty. I'm panicking. People panic when they can't go to the bathroom because that might mean for the rest of the day they may not go to the bathroom. And they're like afraid to eat anymore because they're afraid they're not going to the bathroom. Listen, I've been through this stage. Let that anxiety down. You will go to the bathroom. Keep enough fluids in. Eat the right foods. Don't be afraid. Find something that you can tolerate. You know what it's like. You feel you have one chance, right? Because when you wake up in the morning, you may have an urge. I have a gallbladder disorder caused by, I'm not going to say or I'll get kicked off this channel, but I think you know in the arm. Caused a gallbladder disorder, and it's very painful, and it made it more difficult to go to the bathroom for quite a while. I had to learn to do other stuff. So when you wake up in the morning, you may feel, you can have gas, that type of thing. And then it's like boom, it stops. It's back, it's up in the flexure. Don't stand around. I never stand around. I don't mean in the morning, throughout the day, I'm always working. I'm always doing that. This is one of those syndromes that you just can't stand around and expect to go to the bathroom. I'm being honest with you. Many mornings, I spent like literally in a rage because, I heard a noise when I was trying to go and I couldn't go. I don't really suffer that anymore. I'd be really angry if I couldn't go because it used to be the way, like, I just wasn't eating enough. Because if you eat enough, even with the flexure, you're going to go to the bathroom. It's going to force its way through. Keep eating fruit. Keep eating oatmeal and fibrous foods. Don't listen to what it says, like, you can't eat, it's going to push so hard. What do you expect to do? If you're not eating those, you're going to end up in a bad spot. I'll tell you something. So I'm just going to draw just quickly, I'm just going to draw. I'm not a good drawing guy, okay, guys? So, whatever. I'm just going real quick. Yeah, alien. Okay, so you have your ascending colon, right? And then it goes down a bit, and then it goes up too high, but you get the point, right? And it goes in and then down. When you wake up in the morning, and let's say you have a bit of an urge, like you feel you have to go, if it feels like really, if it feels like diarrhea, I don't get that. Maybe because of Buscopan, maybe because of if you feel like it's like gonna be like runny, like you're gonna have diarrhea or something, this is what I would say. Wait until you have a strong urge. I know the feeling of saying, there it is, I just let it go, and then when you go, it's like it's nothing close to what you expected. And if you would have waited a bit longer, a stronger urge would have come. Here's a technique. You've probably learned this by now if you've had this for 6 months or a year, let's say a year. Have you noticed that if you raise your arms up versus keeping them down, maybe you can even breathe better, like in your bed? Have you noticed this? And here's a technique that I use in the morning. So there was a time where I'd wake up and I would, if I would go to the bathroom, and if I couldn't, I would push. If there was something there, don't ever do that. You're just going to end up hurt. You're going to end up with very painful hemorrhoids, and even worse, you're going to rip those muscles in there. Those are muscles, man. Anal sphincter muscles. Don't do that. You know what I do? You might get to the toilet, right? And you don't really feel like you got to go. One of the reasons may be because your arms are down. When you lift them up, you raise your diaphragm. And it's like, have you ever noticed that? If you have the true splenic flexure syndrome, when you lift it up, it's like it releases this area, and then it can make it over. This has been true for me throughout for a long time. Sorry guys, I tried to download an image onto this, and it just loads and loads and loads. It doesn't work. So look, number one, I'm going to tell you about the technique in a second, but this is a technique. When you wake up in the morning, don't panic. Don't panic. Don't panic. Okay. Don't panic. Start eating your meal. If you want to go to the bathroom in the morning, first you're going to have to start eating, unless you have an urge, because it's going to stimulate, it's going to move those muscles, right? So I eat immediately in the morning anyways, because I have to take my meds. I have a lot of pain. So don't panic. I used to panic, and I started to learn I don't want this anymore. It's a horrible feeling. That's a great feeling if you go to the bathroom too. Because you're like, okay, I got the rest of my day until tomorrow to worry about that then. That really hurt me in my life. It did. And, it can be one of the worst things you ever go through. Not being able to release your stool is a big deal, because you can get really, really sick quickly. Okay, so don't panic. Just start eating. Just do whatever you're doing, okay? But if you don't have anything to stimulate yourself, food, then I wouldn't just sit around. Many times I've gone to the bathroom by doing my laundry, by constantly, I see my rabbit's so cute, man. He's lying like a mat, just staring at me. I got one of the best rabbits about a month ago. Awesome personality. Anyways, my other rabbit used to be really, really scared. God love him, but anyway, so off topic. How do you expect to, doing laundry, taking care of things, walking, doing all that. If you keep constantly doing that and you're eating at the same time, if you can do those things, you will go to the bathroom. Just don't expect always to go in the morning. Don't expect that. So when you wake up, don't panic. And if you don't feel like you can go and you're starting to worry, then start to eat something. So here's number 2, and this is why I make this video, which took me quite a while to get there to this point. But if at whatever point I have to go, is I walk into my bathroom, and let's just say I have that feeling of like runniness or something like that. I'm like, this isn't going to work. I'm like, well, just like 5 seconds ago, I had a strong urge. They can change, okay? That's with everybody. But when I get to the bathroom, it's different when I go to sit down or something. So, or the other side of it is it's like you feel a strong urge, but when you get to the bathroom, it stops. Or it goes down a lot. What do? If you're in your bathroom, put your hand up, raise your arms up. I put them on the top of my door, because I live alone. I have the door open. I'll reach up and I'll grab and I'll just hang on, and it undoes that pseudo blockage like thing. So you can just do one arm, you can do both, but it's very helpful. So this could help you. I don't know, I'm not on opiates. I'm on painkillers, so so how do you go to the bathroom with opiates? Actually, it's not that difficult. Thank the Lord. And if my opiate dose was doubled, I'm sure I could go probably just the same. What I do is I take one docusate or equivalent stool softener at right in the morning, right after my meal, okay? And then I take one before my dinner. So just take one twice a day, spread out. The Restore-Lax, I don't take the full-size dose. All I do is try to keep my stool soft. And when I take it at the end of the night with the Restore-Lax for the morning. Because it's just, you have no idea how many times I've withdrew off of opiates. Dozens of times. Because of this disorder. Not from an addict point of view. I had other issues, so. And I knew how long it took to go to the bathroom after stopping an opiate, and I knew when I stopped taking stool softeners and Restore-Lax and that type of stuff, I knew how long it took for it to get more tough. So, anyways, you're not going to get anywhere if you don't talk about the things that really matter. It's the people that never get anywhere that say things, right? So there it is. I'm going to leave in the description box my website. Just know that it's for my spinal disease, and just scroll down almost to the bottom. It's on the left side of blog, Splenic Flexure syndrome, and you'll find it. If you guys ever have any questions, I'm not on this channel a lot, so I don't really look at the messages because I have to go over to another account. So anyways, God bless. I'll get your messages within time.